All right. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Chasing the Tide, your saltwater connection on the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. I'm your host, Dustin, here tonight. Special guest here from the Bayou Coast Kayak Fishing Club. The oldest long and running kayak club in the nation, right?
Maybe the world.
Sean Rastanis. We got Sean here tonight. Louisiana boy from over there. And, you know, everybody always jokes with me, say, hey, Dustin, you kind of sound like you from Louisiana, too. I said, man, it's that Georgia accent. They got me for like when I was in Hawaii with California, a little surfer boy or whatever. And I say, no, I'm just a good old Georgia country boy that lives in Texas. What's going on tonight, man?
Man, I'm doing good. Just, a good thing we have outdoor activities to keep us safe and we're not, indoor kind of guys, because it's much safer to be outside right now than it is inside, apparently.
That's for sure. It's just the stuff going on. It's just insane. But yeah, give everybody a little backstory on yourself, and then tell everybody a little bit about Bayou Coast Kayak Fishing Club and your role with them, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I live in Metairie, Louisiana, which is right outside of New Orleans. Bayou Coast is, again, it's probably one of the oldest kayak tournaments or kayak clubs in the nation, if not the world. It's been around, I think, 15, 16 years now. I wasn't there when it started. I came in probably not till 2011, 2012. My first experience with a kayak was fishing one of the tournaments. I took third place in a big red category in the Fall and Tide tournament in October 2013 or so, and was hooked ever since. And so I've been tournament director now. I think this is my fifth year coming up. So absolutely love kayak fishing. Probably I love the people maybe more than the fishing. I tell my wife this all the time. She knows I have more friends now than I've ever had at any point in my life, including high school.
Yes.
From all different states. It's a tight knit community, despite the fact that there being a lot of us. My phone starts text messaging going off at 5 a.m. and sometimes till midnight, because I got friends working all different hours, and it just sometimes it's about fishing, sometimes it's about who knows what rant they're going on about.
What rant?
What rant?
Recipes.
But it's great. So Bayou Coast, we're mostly based out of Louisiana. We have our championship series tournaments. We have four qualifying tournaments, which will put you, if you qualify, finish in the top 15 in any of those tournaments, it'll put you into the championship, which is usually somewhere between 40 and 50 guys. Mm-hmm. Any of our tournaments may get anywhere from, 65 up to, I think our largest qualifying tournaments is 125, 135 people, which isn't bad, for a saltwater series and just basically South Louisiana. We get some guys coming in from Florida, Mississippi, right, Alabama. But the good thing is our championship, I think first place this year is like it was last year when Brendan won it, as a brand new native slayer. And I think close to $2,000 in cash, $2,500 in cash for a $50 entry fee for the championship.
Oh, yeah. You're not hitting that with
you're not getting that anywhere. And that's just our regular championship qualifying tournaments that I'm the director of. Then we've got our two big tournaments, which are Paddlepalooza, usually takes place in April, and our Fall and Tide tournament, which is coming up in October. And those are standalone tournaments. We've got all kind of divisions. You've got the big fish categories for redfish, flounder, trout. You've got the slam division, which is the big category, largest redfish, trout, and flounder. I think we'll get anywhere, in a good year, 200, 250 people at Paddlepalooza. Fall and Tide in October during football season, a little bit less people. We may get somewhere between 100 and 150 with those tournaments. It's a lot of fun. Those are usually people coming up on Thursday. We do dinner on Friday. Saturday is the tournament. We have a big raffle afterwards. You can buy tickets. We usually have, $15,000 to $20,000 in raffle prizes donated. Anything from rods and reels to baits to, stays to charter trips, hotel accommodations,
coolers, kayak accessories, you name it, it's probably in that raffle.
everything, gift cards to like Bass Pro, Cabela's,
Yeah.
all of that stuff. And then,
Yeah, y'all have some great support for the
we
club, big
we
time.
have amazing support from Hobie, from local clubs,
Yes.
stores, Backpacker, Pack and Paddle. Then you've got the national chains, California Innovations, with the coolers, the Titan coolers. Even local sponsors, the Death Grip Jig Heads, the
Yep.
Four Horsemen Cork. Just because they see, and the great thing about the tournament is, for fall and time, I know we'll talk about it a little bit more, but you're going to get a captain's bag, which is going to be chock full of, artificial lures. You get a T-shirt, with
Yeah.
theme. Each T-shirt's individual theme for that particular tournament. It's never the same shirt.
Oh, wow.
And yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah. So, and then a lot of these guys, these these guys that make the lures, and of course, they love giving the product there so we can test them out. And then, you'll get something and you say, man, this thing's awesome. I've never fished with this before. And all of a sudden, you're getting 150, 200 people to use your bait at that tournament. And you never know what kind of turnout that's going to produce in the future.
Right.
So it's really good for everybody.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it. I'm already signed up. And
I know
some
you are.
stuff's going to work out because there's kind of like a conflict that week with the KBF National Championship on Cado. And then we're supposed to have the Kayak Redfish World Series in Corpus Christi. But I think that got moved or changed around or something. So that's out the door now. But I went ahead and entered just in case there was a cap on the number of anglers. So I'm ready to come over there and see what I can do. I'm gonna be over there for Ride the Bull, so I'm gonna get some little scouting action in for about 3-4 days. So I'm gonna cover some ground and figure something out. Hopefully,
a lot of the same areas will be in play. It'll be a little bit different, but a lot of the same areas will be in play. We do have a cap right now at 200, and we got 126 people signed up, and we're 3 months out. So, we're excited. I think we're going to hit 200 easy on that tournament.
Should, yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of fun.
So y'all's first event is in the beginning of the year. Is the first event the Minimalist Challenge?
The Minimalist Challenge is in January, and for some ungodly known reason, it's one of our more popular tournaments because it can be really cold. The fishing can be really tough, and on top of it all, you are given the 5 or 6 baits that you're allowed to fish with. So you show up, you're allowed to bring your rod and reel, leader material, and that's it.
Yeah,
you are provided hooks, typically speaking, 4 or 5 soft plastics, and typically 1 hard bait.
Oh, so you can't even have your own terminal tackle?
No. So, and that's the trick with it, because if you lose a hook, and we had one of our guys, I remember Aaron LaRose a few years back, he actually won it that year, but he hooked up a double rig, first cast, lost it to the rocks, and he was short 2 baits and 2 hooks right off the bat.
Oh, man.
So he's stuck fishing with 3 baits, 3 hooks, and a hard bait the rest of the day. And so it's been a combination of redfish, trout, and flounder. And it used to be years ago, limits. You could catch your limits, which was 5 redfish, 25 trout, and 10 flounder. Now, practically speaking, no one caught flounder in January.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had a flounder caught, maybe one in the 8 or 9 years I've been fishing it. And we've had years, I'm not kidding you, we've had 2,000, 2,500 pounds of fish brought in. The fishing was just phenomenal, lights out. And we said, you know what? Maybe we should tone it back a little bit, because it never had happened before. In one or 2 years, the fishing was on fire. We caught it on the right tide, the right moon, the right warm weather pattern in January. And it was trout and redfish everywhere. I remember it took us forever to weigh in all the fish. We were doing weigh-ins. Yeah, this was obviously before Tourney X came around. And so we went back and we changed it. And now it's every year is a little different. It may be 2 redfish and 5 trout or 10 trout or something like that, But that tournament, it's a shotgun launch. Everybody leaves from the same spot. Traditionally, it's been in Leeville. Leeville got a lot of flood damage, and we expanded the boundaries this year to Golden Meadow. But
Okay.
it's great because you're on the level playing field with everybody,
Yeah.
Everybody goes at the same spot, 135 guys. We usually sell out that tournament every year within a week. And again, I don't know why people love it. I think people love the fact that we're all launching from the same spot, fishing with the same baits. And so no one has a very big competitive advantage, and it's a really good time. It's the first one of the year. It's in usually mid to late January.
Yes.
And first time for us to get together for that year.
Right on. And then there y'all move to Paddlepalooza, which is normally in April. Like
Yeah, we usually have
springtime.
one other tournament, which is typically it's either a trout tournament or redfish tournament,
Mhm.
anywhere in the state. Um, and then Paddlepalooza comes in April. That traditionally has been down in Grand Isle, but it's the whole Highway 1 corridor, which will include Bason's Golden Meadow, Leeville, Fouchon, Grand
Okay,
Isle.
so multiple launch points for that
Oh
one.
yeah, multiple launch points, but everybody is down in typically speaking in Bridgeside Marina, that
Yeah.
area on the island itself. It's the only inhabited barrier island in Louisiana.
Yes.
So and there's some restaurants and lodging, and the trick is we know people are going to drink, and what we want is for it to be a home base where after you've been fishing all day, you can put your stuff up, you can go get changed, you can um, take a shower, come outside, walk to the area where everybody's
Yep.
at. We've got food served Friday night. It's a pastelaya. Eric Stacy and the Little Rascals makes it. It's a fantastic pastelaya. People are have a few drinks, and that's Friday night. We do a captain's meeting, a short captain's meeting, and everybody picks up their captain's bags with their goodies and their T-shirts and everything. A lot
Yep.
of people come in on that Wednesday and Thursday. Most of the people, I'd say probably 50% or more, come in that Friday, Fish Friday, at least come in Thursday night, Fish Friday. Saturday, you're up early. Friday night's usually an early night. Usually everybody's pretty much packed up
Yeah.
9:30, 10 o'clock. Saturday, you're up
Mm.
at 4 in, you're launching, you're back. Then you've got the award ceremony. Then we do a big raffle. Again, we have $10,000 to $20,000 of prizes that we're raffling off. That you buy raffle tickets, we put it in there after we do the award ceremony, and bam, who knows? You could win an Orion cooker, you could win a charter fishing trip, you can win a 2-night stay at Point of Shin kayak rentals or at Bridgeside Marina, rods and reels, so anything like that. And then we go into that by Saturday night. We're cooking again. Typically, it's been fried fish. We usually, when people
Mhm.
come in, they have the fish. We clean the fish, fry them up with fries, salad, and do the award ceremony. Then do the raffle, and then
Everybody has
the lies
adult
start.
beverages.
Oh, the lies and the beverages start, right?
Oh yeah.
So man, I had a flounder on. He was 20 inches, and
20 inches.
God, I lost him right at the kayak.
And 2 hours later, man, I had a flounder on. It was 24 inches.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. But we have such a good time. It's something everybody looks forward to. And last year we couldn't do it. Well, I think we had Paddlepalooza, and then
Yeah.
but it was a little different setup we had, and then we had to cancel Fallen Tide last year because of COVID, and with it being a Hobie qualifier last year, we didn't want to rush it. We wanted everybody
Right.
to have an experience, so we talked to Morgan over with Hobie, and he said, "Yeah, absolutely, push it back. You got your spot." So we were good.
And that's what our main focus is here tonight, to talk about
Yeah,
that. And
I'm
then
excited.
some other stuff too. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's I'm definitely looking forward to that event. When the dates came out, and I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fish it, But looks like it's gonna work out. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna get on over there.
we heard about KBF later on. We had already said it, and people
Mhm.
had approached us, and we sat down long and hard and thought about it, because we've got some guys that want to fish both, and so
Yep.
look, man, what we've tried to do, and I do this every year when I schedule tournaments, is I look at all the major tournament schedules. I look
Mhm.
at Bassmaster. I looked at Hobie BOS. Um, I look at all these things, even though those are bass tournaments. I'm cognizant, very cognizant of a lot of our guys wanting to fish them. Even me,
Yep.
I like going and fishing them,
Mhm.
and I really try to avoid conflicts. But then when you start getting holidays and Mother's Day and Father's Day and LSU football games and Saints,
Yep.
it's like at some point it's like, guys, we got to schedule it. We
Yeah.
got to schedule it, and this is the best date we can do with the tide, and and everything else that we're looking at, and to be a good time of the year to fish it. So, you know, we for people out there wondering about that, we did the best we could, and we had picked a date. People had already made plans. Rooms were booked. The place was reserved. We found out about it. And it's like, we can't really change it at this point, you know?
Right.
Which is upsetting for me, because I understand some people are going to have to pick. And, you know, certainly I hope they pick Fallen Tide. I think Fallen Tide is a very unique event. We don't know if we'll have it again. KBF has got, I hear they have a couple thousand people fishing it. Is that right? I don't know.
Yeah, it's usually between 600 and 800 normally.
600, 800.
Yeah,
and I'm sure
it's a pretty good bit.
I'm sure it's a great event, and I'm sure a lot of people go over there and have some fun. I will tell you that this is probably going to be a once in a lifetime, or maybe once every, you know, who knows, 5, 6, 7 year event for us. And if you come down, you're going to have an absolute blast out here. This is a great group of guys. This is a great club. Like I said, the guys who started it got the ball rolling, and we're just kind of rolling along with it right now, you know, trying to do the best we can to add to it.
Yeah, I know that COVID messed up quite a few things.
Yeah.
Last year when it was kicking off, I got to go over to the Pack and Paddle and their beer and gear. You know, they have that in the March springtime. Yeah. Had a good time. Met some of the guys from the club itself too, and hung out. Had a good time. And you know, this year, you know, they still kind of weird, but you know, they had some stuff, and they had some staff members or something that might have been in contact, and they couldn't do some stuff. They were supposed to have some demos, you know, and it was still kind of affecting things, you know, at the beginning of the year, this year also.
Yeah.
But you know, it was just good to see some tournaments start happening again, you know, you know, seeing some of the trails kick off, and everybody else, you know, kind of following that lead. Everybody else was starting to kind of slowly move into doing things again. And then wham, bam. And then now it's like, shoo, the numbers are going up, and they're like freaking out. And, you know, I just hope we don't revert back to what it was last year.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get political on my podcast, but
no, it's a fact of life.
You know,
one of the things I found that it did for us, though, I had been really toying with the idea as tournament director to move into some CPR tournaments, or CPS, what I call them, catch, photo, submit.
Yeah.
And it was either cancel the tournaments or move to this format.
Yep.
And we did not want to cancel it, because at that point, with a lot of people not working and sitting at home all day, it was just not good. So we gave some people something to look forward to.
Yep.
And so a few of us got together. We had to figure out what to do, and Attorney X and all that, and go rewrite the rules. And, you know, it was a tweaking process for the number of tournaments, and just figuring it out. But I think it was successful. A lot of people enjoyed it. We still have people that, you know, don't like the catch photo tournaments. They want to take the fish and keep them, and then that's fine. As a tournament director, though, I'll tell you, it was nice not having to come back and worry about weighing fish, and, you know, also fishing the tournament. You can leave anytime you want. You didn't have to go back and sit around till 5 o'clock and get home at 6.
Right.
You know, you could literally be, oh man, I got my fish, I'm leaving at 2, or man, this is a crappy day. You know, I'm going to call it a day at 11 or whatever, and head on in. But what I found, and what I'm hearing, because we hear a lot, we always listen to our members and want feedback, is they miss the getting together part.
Right.
You know, so we're trying to figure out a way to incorporate that. We're still kind of trying to mix and mash both worlds, you know, where you can have that CPR tournament, because it's exciting watching events go down live, you know.
Yes.
And for me, when I've got friends fishing, matter of fact, a good friend of mine, Chuck Mahan, was fishing the Hobie BOS up in
on the Susky.
Susky.
He had a hell of a day too, man. He was texting me, and I saw some pictures, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, straight smash!"
We were all rooting for him, but we have got a big chat group of the Louisiana bass guys, and we were all rooting for him. And he's coming in, man, I just lost a big one. It's like, we're all like, Chuck, stop texting. Fish.
Get off the dang phone, man.
I mean, he could have won the damn thing if
he would have had that set up and found those fish the got on
had
that pattern the day before and had that 2 days, he would
yeah,
have straight smashed
I
him
think
like
he
that.
caught the biggest stringer of the
Yeah, the
tournament.
biggest stringer of the tourney.
He had the second biggest bass. He was in the lead for a while. I think Ryan
Yeah,
Lambert ended
Ryan
up
Lambert
taking him.
took him by a quarter of an inch with a 20.5.
Yeah, and he only had 77 inches, I think, the first day,
Yeah, if he
and then
would
he
have just
came
had, if
in.
he would have had like 85 on the first day, just a
Oh, I
couple
know.
of calls, it'd have been insane.
It would have been insane.
Team
So,
Jackson right there. That's one of my team members in the South region.
yeah,
Yeah,
well, we
yeah,
give him
stoked.
hell because he's one of the few Jackson guys around here, but he's definitely representing them well. And so we get a few guys that have actually done pretty good. Him,
Yep,
Francis Tran is another
yep.
guy that's done pretty well. He's cashed a check or two over there. So it's been a great experience for a lot of these guys and getting to get out of our comfort zone. I mean,
Yeah,
South Louisiana isn't known for its bass fishing. It's known for its redfish and its trout,
right,
but
for sure.
we're definitely getting out of our comfort zone, and I'm hoping some of these bass guys will come down and and give us a go. At least on this tournament, see what it's
Oh, I
all about.
know. Actually, yeah. Your current first time Bassmaster Kayak Classic champion, Mr. Mark Pendergraph, actually signed up for it. And
He
he
did.
kind of reached out to me and talked a little bit. So we're probably gonna bunk together, and he's probably gonna tag along with me. So I said, man,
That's
I'll show you
awesome.
around.
That's awesome.
So I said, I'm kind of going in kind of blind myself. I'm gonna have a little bit of intel, but
I told you.
uh,
I told you. I promised. I'd give you some intel, just
but
no
no
flounder
flounder. Oh, I
holes.
can figure the flounder out.
No flounder
I'm a
holes.
flounder whisperer when it comes to catching them. So on a rod and reel,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's just they're different. They're just totally different fish
Now
to
I'll
target.
say this.
When you go and target, they're just different.
I'll say this. This is going to be as close to a level playing field almost as possible because
Yep.
Fallen Tide is typically held down in Plaquemines Parish, down Highway 23,
Mhm.
which for people not from Louisiana, it's Venice. If you've ever heard of Venice,
Yes.
the end of the world, Venice up through Belchase, which has got multiple areas. It's about an hour stretch of different marsh and everything. Typically, it's held there. It was moved or was going to be moved last year to Grand Isle, but then COVID hit. And so
Mhm.
last year we had it. Basically, it was a CPR tournament, and it was you could fish Highway 1, which is Grand Isle. You could fish Highway 23, which was over down in Venice area.
Mhm.
I stuck with Highway 23. I probably should have gone to Grand Isle just to, So I ended up finishing in the top 10. A couple of friends of mine finished in the top 10 as well. So this is not our normal location. We normally don't fish Grand Isle in October. All
Right.
right. So for people saying, oh man, these guys have been fishing these waters for 15 years. Nope. 15 years we've been fishing Highway 23 in October. This is all new for me. I've never fished down there in October. I'm usually because I got water much closer to me
Yeah.
that I can catch flounder and trout and redfish in, 30, 45 minutes from my house rather than taking a 2.5 hour trip down to Grand Isle. So it's going to be a learning experience for me and for a lot of other guys. Also, typically for these two tournaments, we used to allow live bait, which some people would use cockahos. This will not. This is artificial only, which changes things up a little
Yep.
bit. Some people get a cockaho, throw it against the bank with a cork and say, come here, flounder.
Yeah.
And that's not going to be the case. So it's a whole different ball game when you fish an artificial for flounder. And it's exciting. Have you ever fished a slam tournament, Dustin?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or if there's a slam pot, I'm always if there's any side pot, I'm signing up for them. Any side pot. Every tournament I enter, if there's side pots.
Side pots, yeah. Because you don't want to be that guy.
Nope.
We had a guy who didn't enter a side pot one time. Benjamin Day, he's a funny guy. It was a $5 side pot for Big Red. He ended up winning it, but he didn't enter it because his wife was like, you don't win anyway, so you shouldn't enter it. So he says, okay. He lost, I think, $400 on that side pot.
Oh yeah,
which is it's pretty funny. But it's exciting when you get those three fish. When you catch that third fish,
yes, for sure.
You would think it easy. It's just one trout, one flounder, one red.
No,
you may get at our April. I'll tell you this: at our April tournament for Paddlepalooza, a guy by the name of Breck Hotard won. A friend of mine won it. Not one flounder was caught. Not one. He won it with a trout and a redfish. First time I think that's ever happened to my knowledge. Somebody winning one of these tournaments, which I had my trout and my redfish. I spent 7 hours trying to catch a flounder, thinking all I need is one flounder to win it.
Yeah.
And really that was it. So, it's going to be, because it's a Hobie event. It's not going to be a weigh, and it's going to be a CPR tournament.
CPR. And what is the slot limits for the fish?
So
especially redfish.
For trout, it's 12 inches.
Mm-hmm.
For redfish, it's 16 inches, and I think it's up to 27. But so the biggest you'll be able to weigh is a 26 3/4.
26 3/4.
26
and then it'll go by timestamp, as to the first person that submits that for the pot and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think the flounder is 11 inches or 12. I have to go back and check. I always have to check because I don't think there's a size limit in Louisiana for flounder.
Yeah.
But we put one in for the tournament. I think it's either 11 or 12. I'm going to go back and check. The thing with the flounder is there's no squeezing of the tail.
Right. You just lay it down.
Yeah. And I would highly recommend that, you have a firm grip on that flounder before you take that picture, because if you lose it, you will be kicking yourself all day. It's going to be interesting. And we talk all the time about what it's going to take to win, as far as the length. Used to be we're going for weight. And what's interesting is length versus weight, it's much different in that area. Yeah. I'll tell you, because the bigger, fatter redfish, and I'll say this for the viewers out there, are typically up north, the fatter redfish, right?
Yeah.
And I'm talking, I've lost tournaments because I've stayed down south and lost by a pound, even though I had a longer combined length, but we're going by weight, and my redfish were skinnier. So with the redfish maxing out at, I think, 26 3/4, there is no incentive really to go really far north, to catch a fat, 9.5 pound slot red.
Yeah.
You just need that length.
Yes.
And so that's going to throw in a different dynamic for this tournament too, because you're not going for weight, you're going for length. Trout, we're not Texas or Florida. Our trout, 18 to 20 is considered a nice trout in Louisiana. Yeah. Now, certainly, people have caught 24, 25, and 26-inch trout. Those are rare. You don't get them as much. But typically speaking, I think what you're going to want this tournament, what you're looking for is you're going to want that 26 3/4 inch red. Realistically, if you get anything 26, if I get anything 26 inches or over, that's it. I'm done with the red.
I'm done with the redfish.
I'm going on to my flounder. I'm going to my trout. Trout, 18 to 20 inches, 18 to 20. If you get something like that, that's obviously solid. And then flounder,
and then if you get a flounder, you're like, oh,
if you get a flounder, if you can get a 26 3/4 inch red or a 26-inch red, a 20-inch trout, and a flounder, you're probably finishing in the top 10. If I had to guess, to win it, I think Doug Menifee won Paddlepalooza last year. I want to say he had a 20-inch trout, a 20-inch flounder, and that red, the maxed out red. So he had a really, really good day.
Yeah.
So you're gonna, I think if you get a 20-inch trout, the 26 plus inch red and a flounder 15 inches or above, you're in the discussion for sure. Yeah, you're in the discussion for sure. And then you've got these places. You've got big redfish category. You got big trout. You got big flounder categories. We'll probably pay out 5 places on those. Now those usually are cash. Those are usually I think gift cards to like Bass Pro or Cabela's. So I mean, it's just as good as cash. I mean, for us, at least the wife isn't tracking you when you spend that money because you're just coming off a gift card, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, you'll have 5 places for big red, 5 places for big trout, 5 places for flounder. And then you have the main category, which is going to be the slam. And
how many places is that paying
That's
out?
Probably going to be 10 places if I had to guess.
Yeah.
So you got, and those are paid out in cash, except for the first 3 places are usually some kind of combination of prizes and cash.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Man, it sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
Get fed both nights?
Well, you're going to get fed 3 nights.
Oh, 3 nights.
3 nights. Yeah. We're doing something different this year. We were all talking and said, man, this is a big deal. People are going to be coming down early. I know I took off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, as did a lot of the guys. So we're getting up there Wednesday. But Thursday night, we're going to be cooking. Don't
Okay.
know yet. We might try to throw a little seafood flair in there, a little Louisiana cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
Friday night, which should be our typical pastelaia, which is excellent. It's a great meal to kind of carb up the night
Yep.
before, And then Saturday, I will be barbecuing. You'll find me by the pit, and it's not going to be Texas barbecue, mind you. All right, don't get your hopes up, or Memphis barbecue, but it's
All
going to
right.
be good. I will have some boudin down there that will blow your
Oh
socks
yeah.
off. It was a hit. We're gonna have some boudin. We're gonna have hot dogs and sausage and bratwurst and
Oh
chicken
yeah.
wings,
I
and
can handle that.
we're just gonna lay out a spread, and we're gonna do all that. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. We got a band coming in Friday night to keep people entertained. We're giving out we're doing the captain's meeting, and we may have some other things. We're planning on having our sponsors down there set up booths
Cool.
to kind of showcase everything. So it's kind of it's going to be an open event. So I think we're going to have Backpacker down there for sure. Torquedo is going to be down there as far as I know.
Yep.
He's going to have
Jeff's coming in.
Jeff's coming in.
I found us a place to stay. So
Yeah.
me and Jeff are bunking together, and we're fishing together.
Yeah. Well, that's for Ride the Bull, right?
Oh no, that's Ride the Bull.
Yeah,
that's correct.
but
I'm getting my dates mixed up, but he's planning on coming.
He's planning on coming down, right? He's going to be at KBF, and he's driving down to
for
Fall Tide. Yeah,
for Fall and Tide too. That's right.
So we're going to have a lot of our sponsors setting up booths. So they're going to be selling baits and tackle, and we'll have people there. If your kayak gets broken, you've got some issues with your drive, we'll have guys there that'll be able to fix it on site. So that's always good to know. Fortunately, we don't have a whole lot of stumps and things like that. The water should be fine. It may just be some type of maintenance issue a lot of times, but we should have some spare parts out there and stuff. So
motors allowed in Fall and Tide?
No, not for motors. The tournament. You could use them to scout for pre-fishing, yeah. But this is paddles and pedal only. Honestly, you're with these areas that we're going to be fishing, you're not going to have to go a mile.
Yeah.
You could. I can tell you this: there are places that you can launch. You can catch all 3 fish in a 100-yard paddle.
Oh yeah.
So there's really if you can literally just fish the Grand Isle area and catch all 3 fish you need. Now, the bigger trout may be in Leeville, or it may be in Golden Meadow, and that's what you got to find out. It depends on how cold it is, what the water's been like. Have the trout moved inside yet? Are they still hanging on the outside? So a couple of different things. So that's why getting down there and scouting a couple of days early would be great.
And it is fine to relaunch it at different launches throughout the day.
Oh yeah,
if you need to. Yeah,
you can pick up and relaunch 3 or 4 different spots as many times as you want. A lot of people do that. Actually, they'll go in. They've got one area they want to go fish for flounder, one area for trout, one area for redfish. So they'll hop in. They may bring 2 rods and minimum tackle, hop in, go catch that fish, haul back in. By 6:30, 7 o'clock, they're moving to their second spot, So, and the great thing is that the furthest away you'd have to drive from Grand Isle is probably 45 minutes, and that's if you want to go all the way to Basons up north. But everything else is 15, 20 minutes from where you're from where most people are staying out at Bridgeside.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Probably book that stuff pretty quick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I booked mine in April. So, but we haven't even mentioned what the big thing is though about this tournament.
Oh yeah. What's the big thing?
It's one guy,
one person,
one average Joe could be Joe Blow off the street from where you from, Dustin? Where you
Victoria, Texas.
Victoria, Texas could come in and catch 3 fish and qualify for the Hobie Worlds.
That is correct.
Represent the United States in what I call the Olympics of kayak fishing in the world tournament. The kind of biggest name. It's definitely not for the money. It's all about the glory.
It is, but that's probably about the only time they're gonna get me in a Hobie if I go there.
Well,
no, I'm kidding. Play it. No hard feelings, man. I got a lot of friends that are on Hobie that fish out of Hobies too. Great boats too. But
they've got some great boats.
But just the experience that would be insane, especially like over in Sweden or Australia. All over the world.
all over the world.
It
I
could
mean,
be
who
anywhere. It could be in
knows
China. I mean, it could be
where
wherever.
it's going to be?
There's no
I
telling.
don't know.
Just
There's
spin
no
the
telling.
globe and let's go here.
What kind of fish are you going to be fishing for?
Yeah, there's no
You know,
telling.
there's no telling. And a lot of times, Hobie hosts most of their tournaments, and most of them are freshwater tournaments. So a lot of us don't, the chances of me going in and competing against somebody, in a bass tournament and to win first place is pretty slim. It's pretty slim, you know. But competing in a saltwater tournament where I only have to catch 3 fish in one day, hey, anybody can do that. I mean,
Yep.
not anybody, but any good saltwater fisherman can have a good day and can do that.
Yes.
And I really look at it as an opportunity, really, to really for just people like me and you and a lot of other guys out there that want this opportunity. So, man, just to have a chance to compete and go into a tournament knowing that, man, I could win this thing possibly, and be in the Hobie Worlds,
Yep.
and what an honor and what an accomplishment, and just to get there, and to be able to experience that would be really a once in a lifetime experience. Now, and obviously, if you win, you qualify for the Hobie Worlds.
Yes.
If you choose not to go, though, it would fall to the next in line. So if you're
Okay,
like,
so it is going to roll down.
yeah, it's going to roll down. Right,
cool
right.
deal.
We're guaranteed
That's
one
good to
spot.
know.
Yeah, because somebody, what if we have somebody who's 18 or who wins and says, I ain't going all the way over to Australia.
Yeah, or just can't make it happen, or something.
Or just can't make it happen. So it'll roll down. First place is typically speaking kayak. Now I don't know what we have lined up this year, or maybe I do. I'm just not allowed to say yet. But I'll tell you, last year for Paddlepalooza, it was a Hobie 360, which is a $5,500 kayak.
Yes,
all right?
for sure.
In addition, the person who wins and chooses to go to the Hobie Worlds will get $2,000 in cash to pay for their expenses.
Oh wow,
so
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so the club is going to pay $2,000. Now we'll hold that money until they actually decide to go. Because if they choose not to go, the next person in line would go, and that money would fall to them.
Yes.
Now they get to keep the kayak for winning, obviously, if that's what it is. But the $2,000 is going to be paying for those expenses for whoever decides to go. Which, I mean, that's enough to pay for your airfare, your hotel, and things like that.
Sure.
So, really, we want to make sure that whoever wins doesn't get to do it because of a financial issue.
Right.
They
got the support from the club, and
they got the support from
get
the
to
club.
go over there and experience
even
that.
If they're a Jackson guy,
Even if they're a Jackson guy.
Even if they're a Jackson guy. Second place probably be a kayak or a gift card. Usually it's in the $2,000 to $2,500 range.
Yeah.
Third place is usually $1,000. I can't remember if it's going to be a gift card or a couple of different things. And then fourth place through 10th is usually cash.
Yeah.
And so, but honestly, you get, I think the registration was $85 this year.
Mm-hmm.
You get a t-shirt, you get a captain's bag.
Yeah, you get fed 3 nights. There's a band playing.
You get fed 3 nights. You get a band. You get your $85 worth of food and entertainment crap.
And more. And so, just for the company and the camaraderie and meeting everybody and shooting a bull and all that good stuff, you can't beat that with a stick, man.
And this is not a complicated area to learn either, because there are literally going to be about 6 or 7 launches. It's not like these lakes where people are going to, you've got these lakes that are just massive, and it takes you 3 hours to get around a lake, and there's 30 different launches,
Yeah.
There's 2 launches in Leeville, so to speak, mostly 2 launches in Leeville. There's 3 or 4 launches in Grand Isle, there's Golden Meadow. You've only got 1 launch in Golden Meadow. Bassons, you've only got 1 launch in Bassons.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're going to be able to look at a map and say, oh man, somebody's going to be combat launching over here. And it's like, nah, not really. You could go into Highway 1 and launch in the marsh, and you'll be able to see all that, especially what I would tell people that are coming in from out of town. Go down Old Highway 1, and we're going to do some seminars. I think Brendan Bayard's going to do a seminar. Go down Old Highway 1 the Thursday before. Look where people are launching, right? Mm-hmm. You'll see where some people are combat launching. Other than that, we'll have something showing where all the launches are at. We don't want anybody feeling they're coming in severely disadvantaged. Well, I don't even know where to fish. Well, I mean, I can tell you where to fish. There's 5 or 6 launches that you can catch a slam from any of those launches.
Yeah.
There is no secrets out here, really. You just got to know how to fish for flounder, really.
Yep. Just break it down.
You should get a couch of trout and a flounder in October down that area. You just got to know how to catch for flounder.
Yeah. Trout and redfish. Yeah. You probably catch a redfish on a marshmallow, but yeah.
And I'll tell you what, and those
flounder's going to get you.
Those Texas, Alabama, Mississippi boys always have an advantage over Louisiana guys when it comes to catching flounder. They just know how to do it,
Yeah, we get on them pretty good over here, especially starting coming up next couple months. They start moving and little tidal movement, little marsh drains, low and slow.
Low and slow.
Hit them on the head.
Hit them on the head with that. What you using for bait? What you using for that?
Quite a few things. It all depends. I like little bucktail jigs with curly tail grub and then a shrimp on the top. I do a tandem.
That's yeah. That little curly tail gulp is a gold mine. Everybody will tell you that. That's definitely not a secret. That little chartreuse curly tail gulp is killer.
Grande lure company that supports me, it's actually chartreuse and then pearl. It's a salty margarita. It's like a salty margarita color. Yeah. That one's been killer. And then I do a glow shrimp with a chartreuse tail on a weedless hook above it.
Oh, nice.
So you got a little little teaser rig. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Little tandem rig. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll share that. Yeah. I do pretty good with that over here. So I kind of you hit them in the head though, they're going to eat it. Yeah. Most of the time. You put it in their face, they're going to eat it.
I tell you, I've caught all 3 fish on a voodoo shrimp, natural color voodoo under a popping cork. And, this isn't bass fishing. You can catch all 3 fish on that one lure. You can sit there and pop a cork all day against the bank and
catch all 3.
And catch all 3 fish. Absolutely. Just be cognizant of your water depth and how deep your leader is. I mean, you don't want a 12-inch leader if you're fishing 2 foot of water, but typically speaking, up against those banks, it's going to be a foot, a foot or less. And so, that's an easy setup for people like, am I using a spoon? Am I using a chatterbait or, hey, this is the easiest setup you can do in October. It's a deadly combination.
It is. Yeah. Any kind of shrimp imitation in a popping cork.
Yeah.
You can throw that all day and call them in, especially I'll call it redfish in, especially.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that, man.
Some of these bass guys come down and catch actually, in a good chance you come down here, you could easily hook up a 30, 35-inch bull red, and take them for a little sleigh ride, and they're going to have a lot of fun doing that.
For sure. Especially they haven't experienced that. The drag pull, the force of the redfish just, man, makes the bass look silly.
Hey, look, man, I've hooked up on 40-inch plus redfish out there on a trout rig, throwing a popping cork out for a speckled trout and have a 40-inch red tank. And you're like, oh no, this is my light rig. And so you just gotta
fight them, finesse them in.
Yeah.
They definitely got some force behind them, man. Falling Tide, don't miss that one. What's the date again on that? October the
16th.
16th.
Yeah.
Festivities will kick off Thursday night.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Everybody sleeps in on Sunday, and then you get head home. You get a whole day to get home on Sunday.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan, man. That's gonna be awesome. And then, man, y'all have had some other stuff y'all had rolling too here. Y'all got that Louisiana Bass Nation, what is it called? The
Swamp Country Kayak Bass Association.
Swamp Country.
Yeah. I see a lot of the Tennessee Bass Nation cows said, man, that's boring. I want to do something exciting. So I was like, hey guys, let's come up with a good name. So a good friend of mine, Tyler Caldwell, came up with it. I said, look, I don't care what we call it, but I just want a Rougarou in it. So if you see our mascot, it's a Rougarou, which is like the Louisiana werewolf Bigfoot figure.
Kind of like our Chupacabra over here.
Now see, you Texas guys, the Chupacabra, and my friend Jonathan Carter's from Texas, he's always telling me that's a Chupacabra. I said, damn it, I said, Jonathan, it's not a Chupacabra. Look, here's a picture of a Chupacabra. This is a Rougarou, all right? This is two
Rougarou.
completely different
They're different. Yeah.
creatures, all right? And I don't want anybody walking around looking at our, when we get our shirts and stuff, man, thinking that this is a Chupacabra. It's a Rougarou.
There
And
you go.
so I had to lecture him a little bit. He's not from Louisiana. He's from Texas, so he doesn't know.
And that
but,
y'all had an event last month, right?
We did. It was a little test run event. I put it in a very kind of remote location. I did on purpose. I didn't want a lot of people signing up for it because I wanted to work out the bugs.
Yeah.
Because I was I don't know, for some reason everybody came to me and said, you need to start this Bass Nation. They said, man, I already got all these obligations with Bayou Coast, and I write for a local magazine over here too, and I work, and I'm a dad, and I'm married, so it's just like, I was like, all right, screw it, I'll do it. So it's fishing. I love just not even the fishing, it's everything about it, doing all this stuff. So we got it set up, and we had a little event. It was I think it was 20 of us, 21 of us, just a small event out in Indian River Creek. And I mean, it was tough. It was tough. They had some nice sized bass in there. I think we caught 3 or 4 over 20.
Yeah, there's a couple good fish.
Yeah, there was a couple of really nice fish. One guy swears he lost. He says, look, I've been bass fishing all my life. This one was 10 plus. He showed me the hook, and it just had straightened it out. It was a big bass. Yeah. If it's to be believed, I don't know. I'll say this: he had 2 really other nice bass, so I don't doubt that. So it was really tough day. I think we had half the field skunk, which is kind of after I'd pre-fished a couple times. And, I had never fished it before, and somebody had recommended it, so I said, okay, we'll do it over there. And I was like, geez, and Pete's, man, I couldn't have picked a tougher lake. But we had a good time. We got some buds worked out. We had some people give some suggestions, so we changed the rules just a little bit, but mostly. It's modeled after the Bass Nation kayak series, and so our championship is going to be in September 11th. It's a 1-day tournament. It's on Lake St. John and Lake Concordia, which is right there on the border of Mississippi, right by Natchez. These are supposed to be 2 phenomenal lakes. Again, I just got into bass fishing about 2 years ago, and so I've never fished these lakes, but everybody tells me they're phenomenal lakes.
Yeah, I went and scoped them out.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I'm thinking about making a run.
Man, I'll tell you what. So the great thing is, with Bass Nation, they allow local clubs, states, to have their own local club to hold a championship with the top 10% qualifying for the Bassmaster, Bass Nation Championship, which this year was at Possum Kingdom over in Texas. And I don't know I'm sure you saw the results from that tournament. That was phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Those stringers were phenomenal.
Up top.
Yeah. I think they would have beat the boat guys if they'd have gotten to weigh those fish, Yeah. It wasn't advertised, but they blew it out the water. Mark Pendergraph and
Pendergraph with that almost 112 inches or something.
I think his average fish, it was over 20 inches. For over 2 days, for 10 fish, was over 20-inch stringer. I think he had 209 inches total over 2 days. Yeah. This is phenomenal. It's incredible. So, and then I forget the guy who placed second, but he actually had, I think he had a winning stringer, but he got a deduction for a mouth being cracked. And so he got an inch deduction, which cost him first place. But he had a phenomenal stringer as well. And so
they straight smashed him.
Again, this is one of those deals where you've got average Joe here in Louisiana who says, man, I can't drive up to, Susquehanna or, wherever, or to Lake Fork. And I'll be honest, those trips, you're looking at $250, $300 entry fee.
Yeah.
You're looking at gear, travel, hotels. Each trip was going to run you almost at a minimum $600. Plus, if you want to be competitive, you've got to be out there at least 2 days scouting beforehand.
Before, yeah.
So, you're looking at 3 days off of work, because if it's far, you got to drive back on Sunday or Monday. That's tough. This gives people the opportunity to fish locally, and the entry fee is $100.
Yeah,
you know,
and still be able to have a chance to qualify for
and
that
still be able to have a chance to
Bassmaster
qualify.
Kayak Classic. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, and so now you do have to pay the Bass Nation dues and the Bass dues, which
Yes,
is
correct.
it's $40, I think. But it's a small price. We're going to have some really good payouts. I think this first year we're building it up. I mean, this is
Yeah.
a starter club, grassroots. I think we'll probably have 50 guys sign up. The great thing about our tournament, a lot of these other states that have these big bass, that's all they do is bass fish, right?
Mhm.
You have to qualify for their championship. You have to go through a series or qualify. Ours is you can register and be in. This can be the only event you want to fish. You can fish it. You can be from Mississippi, Texas, Alabama, Florida. You come into our tournament and fish it.
Yeah.
As long as you're a member of Bass and you pay your Bass member ID, we don't charge any club fees. We're going to take, I think, probably it's $100 entry, $85 go to payouts. The other $15 goes to TourneyX, PayPal, and it's going to be
Yep.
like $7,
Mhm.
$8 for the club, which helps me pay
Operation
for the
fees.
trophies
Yep.
and the food.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm going to be coming out of pocket some money on it, and I'm okay with that as we build it up.
Right. Then that's the cool thing. I mean, just like the clubs running tournaments, the transparency is what like sells everybody to, that they know, oh, this is going to this, because I know people start asking, where's the payout? Where's all this going? Where's this money going? So.
Oh, I can show them the negative return that it will have on this investment that I'm in the hole in already. But I'm talking to a guy in Florida to do some really nice trophies. I don't have them yet, but we're gonna get them in. It's gonna rival, I think, some of these bigger tournaments.
Oh, cool deal.
Payouts are gonna be, we'll pay out the top 10%.
Mm-hmm.
Top 10%. If we get 50 guys register, we're gonna send 5 guys to the Bass Nation Championship, which I understand is going to be in South Carolina next year.
Oh, Hartwell or
I think the Classic's at Hartwell. So this tournament's going to be in conjunction with the Classic.
So it could be at like Santee Cooper or something.
Yeah, so it's going to be
some other
somewhere
lakes there. Yeah.
So that should be a lot of fun. We had a lot of guys express interest. I think we've got 35, 40 guys already signed up in the club.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm looking at my calendar. It's like, man, we're 5 weeks away. I'm so pumped about that. I don't know what to do with myself right now, sitting here in August when we've got this championship coming up in September. October, we got Fallen Tide. Then in November, we've got our Bayou Coast Championship. 3 big time tournaments. I don't know if there's been a better time to be alive, kayak fishing wise, tournament scene in Louisiana than this year. This is probably the biggest year I can think of,
Taking off.
And then, hey, for you guys, I know you're coming down in August. We've got Ride the Bull.
Ride the Bull coming up 28th?
Yeah.
I think so.
I know it's at the end of August.
28th to Saturday.
Yeah. That's, and that's just a big party. They'll have usually 500 or 600 people over there.
Yep.
Dropping dead bait on the bottom, hoping to catch a 40, 45-inch bull red.
You know something? I made a promise. I'm throwing artificials the whole time. I'm throwing crankbaits on the rock structure and big rattle traps and big bucktails.
Is that right?
I'm gonna throw artificials the whole time. Yep.
You're not gonna throw any
nope, I'm not gonna anchor. I'm gonna use the motor and troll and work crankbaits and stuff and try to see if I can do it that way.
Hey, it might be shot. You never know. You never know. I mean,
I got some insight on some structure. I'm gonna look at.
Yeah,
we're gonna see what happens. Yeah.
Well, you're gonna be there with 500 other people because you're all gonna be in the same
area. Right. But yeah, I'm gonna try. I don't want to soak bait.
Yeah. No, look, I understand.
No, I'm a grinder. I like to cover water and all that mess. I can't sit in one spot too long.
When IFA used to come down, they do a tournament out of Grand Isle, and it was artificial only. And you'd have those guys out there with those big curly-tailed gulps. Everybody's fishing the same bass. Everybody's circling each other,
around, jigging.
Those big reds. That was a lot of fun to watch. Just sitting there watching these guys, and it's a party. I know we hope to get down there. I know Jonathan Carter, my buddy's gonna be down there. He's gonna show you and Jeff around, and I
Yeah.
hope to get down there too. You guys will all be out there with your Torquedos. I'm gonna be out there pedaling, the old man pedaling.
It's all good. It makes a difference though for some of these. A lot of our trails around here started allowing them. So
Yeah.
it's
Well,
definitely
our
pays
Bass
off.
Nation trail allows it because that's what Bass Nation
Right.
allows. And, we don't allow it in the saltwater series, and I think that's something that's probably they may hold firm on. But I love the fact that when I get to make the rules for the Bass Nation, I don't make the rules. I
Yeah.
just say, hey, if you've got a problem, go talk to Bass.
Yeah. But that's
I
the
didn't
thing.
make
Like our
I didn't make
saltwater
any rules.
trails are
Yeah.
allowing them now. Like it's
Oh,
just
really?
like pretty much every one of them went to motors. Even this
Wow.
this next one we have a split offshore one day Redfish the next called Ray Del Mar. And they're allowing motors this year. The Professional Redfish League, Saltwater Angler Redfish Series, the ones we've been fishing, just wrapped up this last weekend. That was they started allowing motors last year.
Mhm.
Saltwater Survival Series got some backing from Torquedo, so they have started allowing them. So
Yeah.
all of our saltwater events are allowing them now too, and it makes a good difference. The only thing bad about it is that if you are pulling redfish around on a stringer, you gotta kind of slow it down a little bit on the way back, or you gotta have a built up live well on the back of the kayak to put them in so you can
Do
take
y'all
off and go.
Do y'all weigh your redfish in live?
There's a couple of our trails that have live weigh-ins for
Really?
redfish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's difficult, especially when it
It
starts
is.
getting warm.
In the hot summer months, it's tough. So it's easier to string them up, leave them on a stakeout pole in the area, and hopefully nobody takes them. And then you come back and put them in your live well and go back to the launch. And there's little tricks here and there: G-juice, ice, frozen water bottles, little O2 tablets, little bait saver tablets, and stuff like that. Kind of.
Now, I've never heard of this one. You
can go.
stick them on a stakeout pole.
Yeah, stakeout pole. I
Yeah.
go put it on a stakeout pole and like the edge of the island or in the marsh, and have a fish bag and put them in there and just leave them there and don't drag them around until you're ready to leave that area. Yeah,
it's much easier throwing them on ice.
It is. And then you get a half-pound deduction for the dead fish. Yeah, it's much easier to take a picture. But you know how it is. There's a couple clubs here that during COVID they did some CPR events and stuff, and some people just aren't keen to it. And I'm like, well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if that's the way we had to get it, that was the way we had to get out on the water to have tournaments and have virtual captain's meetings and then virtual awards and this and that. I mean, to make it work, it was awesome. It was awesome that we were able to do that with that catch photo, submit, release platforms we have, tournament management systems, Tourney X, Fishing Chaos. So, all that said and done, it still got us out there on the water. The thing that, like you said earlier, we're just lacking the meetups and the camaraderie and all that. That's the big thing about these tournaments, that everybody gets together, after weigh in and weighs in opinions and the fish stories, the tails grow, all that good stuff. So, yeah.
I know. I miss a lot of these guys. I haven't seen them in so long, and I got to see them for Paddlepalooza in April, and we had a blast just seeing some of these guys. And you may only see them twice a year, but you see them every year, twice a year at the same events.
Twice a year, yep.
And it's really good to see these guys. And we keep up on Facebook and things like that, but see them in person, it's like the high school reunion twice a year, but people you actually want to stay in touch with, I guess.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Well, cool deal, man. Well, I'm stoked for everything coming up.
Absolutely.
We got the CCA, you got to ride the bull coming up August the 28th. We have the Swamp Country
Kayak Bass Association.
I call it Scuba.
I always call it Scuba. Scuba coming up September 11th.
Bass Nation Kayak Series, September 11th on what lakes are those on again?
Lake St. John and Lake Concordia. It's
Concordia
10 minutes outside of Natchez. There's actually a couple of places for rent if you're looking to come down on it's a Spokane Resort. I think it's on Lake St. John. There's another place 5 minutes up the road on Lake Concordia. And then, hey, look, man, if you want to come in and bring the wife, Natchez is a really cool city. It's 10 minutes away in Mississippi, but you could bring the wife and she can go antique shopping or food shopping or whatever. right there in Natchez. So it's a great location.
Huh.
Or you could stay on the water. We're going to cook probably Saturday night. I'll be up there Thursday night. We're going to pre-fish Friday. We're going to cook Saturday night. So when as soon as everybody's finished fishing, you can come over. I think we're going to have a couple items for a little raffle that we're going to give away for free. Do the award ceremony, hand out prizes. And then we're going to have a few beverages, tell some more lies, go to bed, and then get home on Sunday.
Get home on Sunday. Right on, man. Well, yeah, if I can make that work, I was eyeballing that. And then everybody asking, you do have to be a Bass Association member.
Yes.
And then you have to pay club dues to the scuba.
Well, yeah, there's no club dues. It's just
no club dues.
Yeah, you pay Bass Nation when you register for the tournament on Tourney X.
Correct.
And then we have to pay the Bass Nation directly. We don't keep any of that money. It's $30, and that's what they require.
Right.
We don't have any club dues at all.
Okay.
We just take a little bit of money out the thing. But we also have two optional categories. We've got a big bass category. It's $5 Calcutta. Winner take all for the biggest bass. Then the other category we have, it's optional. It's $10. It's a big bass by the hour. So I think we're going to be paying out 8 spots. So if you're not having a good day, you always got the chance of winning big bass or big bass by the hour. And you never know.
Cool
Maybe
deal.
It could be one of those 5.
We'll see what happens. See if I can make that one work out. And then coming up in October, Hobie Worlds qualifier, October 16th.
Yeah.
Falling Tide. True Slam tournament, 1 redfish, 1 trout, 1 flounder.
Yep.
CPR event. Should be a good time. Lots of festivities in the evenings. Some good food, some good company, and some cold beer.
Even if you don't catch anything, I can almost guarantee you.
Guarantee it's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a good time regardless.
Even on the water, if you don't catch anything, you're still going to have fun.
You're still going to have a good time.
So, yeah. So, man, I appreciate you coming on the show, sharing with us
thank you so much for
info about everything, about the tournaments coming up, and then the Swamp Country Bass Club starting up. That's going to be awesome with all that going on. The championship y'all got coming up. You're going to have some qualifying spots for the Bass Nation Kayak Classic, Bassmaster Kayak Classic, whatever. I think it's something like that they call it.
Yeah, it's the I call it the Bass Nation National Championship, something like that. But we're I told my friends, I said, look, if you guys make it, I'll go with you and I'll help you scout out. We'll go out all together. So.
Yep, there you go. Well, cool deal, man. Once again, thanks again. Thanks to everybody that listens. Podcast wouldn't be possible without all the listeners out there. Thanks everybody for that. And we'll see y'all next time on Chasing the Tide. Catch y'all later.
Thanks, Dustin. See you soon.
Yes, sir.